Hey guys! Welcome to the very first episode of Mathematics by Millennials.
So today we will tackle a very interesting chapter from Ian Stewart's book, Nature's Numbers.
In this book, Ian Stewart depicts how nature is seen through a mathematician's eyes.
And dives in deep into how formulas and equations that are used today were discovered in the past.
We will be discussing Chapter 5 of Nature's Number entitled Violence by Videos. Let's get it!
According to Ian Stewart, it is conventional to divide mathematics into two sub-disciplines, pure mathematics and applied mathematics, in which we'll observe in the problem of the violin string.
The pitch of a violin string tone is determined by the frequency of vibration, which is the rate at which the string moves to and fro.
Greek discovery tells us that a single string can vibrate at many different frequencies, and each frequency corresponds to a different configuration of the moving string, meaning the same string can actually take up many different shapes.
Now, strings vibrate too fast for the naked eye to see, but the Greeks actually showed that the pitch depends on the position of notes, as an evidence for the idea that a string can vibrate at many different frequencies.
This leads us to believe that the more notes there are, the higher the frequency. The vibrations caused by the plucking of the string are called standing waves, waves that move up and down but do not travel along the string.
The size of the ups and down movement is also known as the amplitude of the waves, and this determines the loudness of the tone. The shape of these waves are said to be sinusoidal. Now, a lot of mathematicians contributed their own ideas, perception, and study of the violin strings, frequency, and vibration. One English mathematician, Brooke Taylor, published the fundamental vibrational frequency of a violin strings in terms of length, tension, and density in 1740.
While in 1746, a Frenchman, Jean-Léron d'Alembert, discovered and showed standing waves and proved that the shape of the wave can actually be anything.
That is until Swiss mathematician Leonard Euler worked out the wave equation for a string. This equation is a consequence of Isaac Newton's law and a partial differential equation that governs the rate of change of the shape of the string.
Partial differential equation most likely means that the equation actually involves not only the rate of the change relative to time, but also the rates of the change relative to space, or in this case, the direction along the violin strings.
The partial differential equation by Euler expresses in mathematical language that the idea of acceleration of each segment of the string is proportional to the tensile forces acting upon that segment, which
It's also how it is understood to be the consequence of Newton's law.
Thinking about it, Euler actually not only formulated the equation, he solved it and made it describable in words. First, he deformed the string into any shape, then imagine the shape propagating along the string towards the right and call it rightward traveling wave.
He then turned the shape upside down and visualized it propagating the other ways to create the leftward traveling wave. Lastly, Euler superposed these two waveforms, and voila! What's amazing is that the process leads to all possible solutions of the wave equation in which the ends of the string remain fixed.
But not until Daniel Bernoulli, another mathematician from Antwerp, also devised another wave equation solution himself. According to Bernoulli, most general solution can be represented as a superposition of infinitely many sinusoidal standing waves.
The century-long disagreement was eventually resolved when it was declared that both Euler and Bernoulli were right because every periodically varying shape can be represented as a superposition if an infinite number of sine curves.
In the end, the upshot of all sinusoidal waves are the basic vibrational components. The totality of the vibration that can occur is given by forming all possible sums of finitely and infinitely many sinusoidal waves of all possible amplitudes.
Faraday's intellectual successor, James Clerk Maxwell, said strings with different frequencies produce different sounds. Visible electromagnetic waves with different frequencies produce different colors. When the frequency is outside the visible range, the waves are not light waves but something else.
Nobody knew until 1886 when the German physicist Heinrich Hertz generalizes electromagnetic waves at the frequency that we now call the radio, and detected them experimentally.
From that discovery, Guglielmo Marconi successfully carried out the first wireless telegraphy in 1895 and transmitted and received the first transatlantic radio signals in 1901.
That's a great transition over the years. Great minds are really capable of something, huh?
Indeed, you are right. With it came radar, television, and videotape. Of course, this is just a sketch of length and intricate interaction between mathematics, physics, engineering, and finance.
Because of Maxwell's wave equation and the variations in both the electrical and magnetic fields, now the mathematical discovery generally proceeds from the simple to the complex.
Thanks to Heinrich Hertz and his epic discovery, a chain of thoughts that started with something simple, and it is mathematics that reveals the simplicities of nature and permits us to generalize from simple examples to the complexities of the real world.
So the next time you listen to music,
Or switch on your TVs,
Or watch a videotape.
pause for a few seconds to remember that without mathematicians, none of these marvels would have been invented.
This has been
Mathematics by Millennials.
See you next time!
What are you?
transmitted and received the first transatlantic radio signals in 1901.
Can you please vlog with the mic?
Over the years, great minds are really capable of something, huh? James Clerk Maxwell. But not. That's a great transition over the years. Great minds are really capable of something, huh?